You know that Kubun is not only a co-working space. We normally say that events are the DNA of Kubun. And today we have Skillshare, where we introduce Chris. Chris is a friend of mine. He's going to talk about about productivity, about making the most of the day to be more productive, and a couple of words about other events this week. Today in the evening at 5 p.m. we have Bitcoin Filter. So if you are interested in Bitcoin, you can go to that event. It's open for public. Yeah, tomorrow we have members brunch. It's more related for new members. And on Thursday we have Bali Bungus. Osha, Keith is a nutritionist. She's going to talk about nutrition, about energy, how to be more energetic, how to organize your day as well. And on Friday we have a social hour. It's karaoke. It's also open for public and everyone is welcome. So welcome Chris once again and enjoy your talk.
Thank you everybody for coming. Let me just fix this real quick. Sorry. So thank you so much for coming everybody. I got a lot of exciting material to share and I think you'll get a lot out of it. So before I start, I just want to share a quick personal story. The doctor is standing over me. He's shaking me. Chris, can you hear me? Chris, are you there? I slowly wake my eyes up and I find myself, I'm laying in a bed in the emergency room. To my right is my mom and dad, the two people closest to me in my life. On the left is a doctor and nurse. I've just gone through 6 hours of painful, heavy-duty surgery. The reason why I'm here is because I've suffered a collapsed lung twice by the age I'm 29. This was during the financial crisis of 2009 and 2010. I was 28, and for 8 long years, 8 miserable years, I worked on Wall Street. And it just soul sucked everything out of me. All the pressures of trying to make money and chasing material things, and then couple that with a non-holistic lifestyle like partying, clubbing, cocaine, just not a very healthy lifestyle at all. And this was a New York City rat race lifestyle. Is that me? Yeah. Oh. So yeah, that really was a lot of pressure to deal with. And I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what my values were. I was just chasing after a very fast-paced, empty lifestyle. And that was a wake-up call to me. I had to make a decision. Do I want to keep going down this path that I'm going on? And the answer I kept coming up was no. Because if I don't change, I'm going to end up in the same spot again. Or worse yet, I'm going to end up dead by the time I'm 40. So that was the journey I had to take to really rebuild my life. I went from being really stressed out, miserable, burnt out, empty, to finding a different path, one that's more joyful, one that's happy, one that's present, has more inner peace. And a big part of that journey has been morning rituals. And that's what I want to share with you guys today, how I was able to rebuild my life from the past 5 years, from someone who's really sick to now having a more thriving lifestyle. So that's a picture of me on the left. That was the second time I had the operation. So unfortunately I was also juggling my MBA at the time and I couldn't quit my job right away. So after 2012 is when I finished. I walked to my boss's office. I said, peace out, I'm out of here. Like a lot of you guys out here, you left your old job. And what did I do? I didn't have any idea that, I didn't set out to become a digital nomad right away. I wanted to kind of heal myself. I wanted to kind of go on this inner journey and figure out what I want out of my life. So I went to Phuket. I started training the ancient art of Muay Thai, which is Thai kickboxing. I really fell in love with it. It's a really healthy way to get fit and also release some aggression. And it was fun. So I did Muay Thai in Phuket for 1.5 years. I also found my meditation teacher, and he really helped me ground myself and realign my values and get back in touch with who I am. And that was really helpful. And then also dove into personal development. I never read books, I never read blogs. If you told me who Tony Robbins was, I would have been like, who? Because it wasn't in my sphere. I didn't have any time or energy to improve myself. So I did that for 1.5 years in Phuket, and then also went to South America as well. And plant medicines have been a really big part of my journey. I worked with the different shamans in Ecuador and Peru with ayahuasca, San Pedro, and Kambo. And I'd highly recommend that if you feel a calling. It's not for everybody, but if you feel called to it, I would definitely encourage that. And then I went to Chiang Mai. That is the other digital nomad hub that a lot of people here in Bali would know about. I actually have two good friends out here in the audience that I met in Chiang Mai 2 years ago, John and Evan. So that was where I got into e-commerce. I still have a dropshipping store. I went to a business retreat up there. I got into FBA, which is fulfilled by Amazon, selling fitness products from China. Also, I created my first Udemy course, Udemy, on weightlifting and nutrition. So the first 2 years, I kind of just focused on that part of entrepreneurship, just kind of learning the different aspects of SEO, graphic design, AdWords. And it was successful, but I started coming back to the point of what it was like in New York. I'm like, all right, I'm making money, but I'm not excited to wake up in the morning. I'm not, it's not passionate for me. It wasn't fulfilling. So here I am back again. I'm like, all right, what the hell am I going to do? And I then hired a business coach, and he's been helping me grow my men's one-on-one coaching business. So I've been doing that for the last 1.5 years. And I focus mostly helping men who need help with their emotional health, with stress management. A lot of guys don't know who to talk to or how to deal with sticky situations. So I've been focusing on that. I also led my first retreat in Bali last year for a company called Co-Vacation, and that was a good stepping stone. So now I'm focusing mostly on Skype coaching, running retreats, and personal one-on-one coaching. I moved here back in January. Bali's been my home base, and I've also been involved with the crew. I started doing that in April with the powerful coach, Colleen Schell, right up here. I was able to be a participant in the April 4-week accelerator group, and we focused on things such as accountability partners, champagne moments, focus, and getting shit done. And I really liked what she was teaching. It helped me grow my business, so I asked her if I could co-lead it, and she was gracious enough to let me co-lead the months of May and June. So I've been getting a lot of great hands-on experience, and actually next month I'm leading my own accelerator group. It's 2 days a week, Monday and Thursday, and if you're interested in joining that, please let me know. We have 6 spots, 3 are already taken, and yeah, we're gonna start July 10th through August 3rd. So please let me know if you wanna work on productivity. So what's the problem that digital nomads, entrepreneurs face? I think we can all relate to these. Our schedules can sometimes be all over the place. We have distractions with Facebook, social media. We have Skype calls, clients are reaching out to us. We have meetings at because we're location independent, we might have a meeting with a client in New York at midnight. And then we have personal matters. We have friends we're trying to keep in contact with, our parents, our family, they all want to know, are we alive? Did we get sucked into a tsunami, So we're getting grabbed all the time, and it's real easy to go down that black rabbit hole of lost productivity. So lost focus, attention, and productivity. And then the biggest risk, I would say, is also burnout. Because we're running our own business, sometimes some of us don't have money to hire or outsource other aspects. So we're wearing a lot of different hats in the business. So we're doing different roles, and that can lead to burnout. I myself have burnt out twice already in the last 3 years of this journey of entrepreneurship. Most recently, back in November and December, I was trying to do my autoresponder, my landing page, my video, and then doing talks, and I just got burnt out in Chiang Mai. And when I moved here in Bali for January and February, I did not work at all. I had to recoup and recover myself. So burnout is a very, very serious thing. As they say, the struggle is real. Now, the top 5 benefits that I want you guys to walk away with today. The first one is having a framework and structure for your day. Like I said, because we are our own bosses, we need to have some we're not going into an office every day, except for maybe a co-working space. We need to have some kind of structure so we don't get distracted. The other thing is I want you to also have an expanded amount of time and energy, because like I said, it's easy to feel trapped, like, oh, I don't have time for this, or I don't have time for that, or I'm feeling lethargic and I just want to sleep. So I want to help you guys get more time and more energy to actually get stuff. The third thing is get out of bed. I used to hate waking up in the morning. I used to dread it, and now I actually look forward to getting out of bed. The fourth thing is get shit done. So like I said, be focused, productive, and be motivated to actually grow your business and scale it. And the last thing is sustainability and longevity. They say entrepreneurship is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So this is going to be for the next 5 to 10 years. Probably this is going to be for me personally my life's work. So I want to make sure I don't get burnt out every 6 months and then have to take a couple months off. So I want to help you guys learn practices that will be sustainable and gear you up for the long haul. So where did morning rituals come from? I did not invent them. I studied a lot of CEOs and entrepreneurs when I was dabbling into personal development. Tony Robbins, there's Tim Ferriss on the upper right, and then Gary Vaynerchuk. They all have morning rituals, and I was like, well, if I want to be successful, I need to copy and inhabit or incorporate some of these habits that successful people do. So I copied some of the things they did. I also experimented on myself, because I wasn't working. I was like, I was a human guinea pig, like Tim Ferriss, and just tried these different things. Also, my coach, I have a coach as well. I've been working with him for the last 1.5 years, Cameron Gallagher. I know he's Facebook watching this right now. He's helped me a lot. Especially in the last month, he's made some tweaks and adjustments that have really transformed my day. And then also, I've done client work with my coaching. I've been able to coach other guys, and I get results from them. So I've been able to take different parts and experiences from the last 5 years to kind of put my own morning ritual together. So this is Maslow's basic human needs. I'm sure you've all seen this before. The most important one is on the bottom, Wi-Fi. My biggest beef is with modern society. We only focus on the physical, what's on the exterior, what's in front of us. We ignore all the things underlying it, like the emotional, the mental, the spiritual. If you go see a doctor, they say, what's their problem? And then they're gonna throw a pharmaceutical at it, give you a pill. But it's like, listen, if I want to lose weight and I'm not losing weight, how come I'm overeating? Don't give me a pill to fix it. Like, let's figure out the emotional, deeper stuff. So my biggest thing is for physical health is, or for overall health, is to make sure you focus not on just physical, that you actually focus on the other three. So the 4 pillars that I use for optimal health deals with physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Like I said, if you really want to be able to grow your business and grow as a person, you need to make sure you focus on all 4. If one is out of balance, it's going to affect the other 3. So when I say physical, I'm talking about things such as sleep, the type of food you eat, the type of exercises, what kind of environments are you physically putting yourself into. This is it's the first basic layer, like most people are aware of. And these things that we have bodies, they're not machines. We can't just ram it into the ground and expect it to work right away. These are actually, they're more gentle. We need to be gentle with it. So physical is really important. The next thing is mental. The way I like to think of mental is what's going on up here with the brain and what are you feeding it. The analogy I like to use is, are you feeding it shitty food for your brain, such as mainstream media, television, reality shows, gossip magazines? This is stuff that we're not really growing or learning from. On the other side of the spectrum, I would say are things such as high quality content that you can feed your brain, such as podcasts, books, e-learning courses, growing and learning. Those are the things that you want to be feeding your brain. So that's the mental, trying to sharpen yourself. The third thing is emotional health. This, I feel like sometimes not talked enough about. And when I say emotional health, what's going on up here? We're humans, we're not animals. We actually feel things with our heart and our heads. And if you're not aware of what's going on in your emotional world, that's going to have a dramatic effect on the rest of your life. It's really important to, like, I'll give you an example. Say your personal life, you're dealing with like a breakup, you're going through a really hard time and you're having sadness and anger. And if you're then trying to work on your business in your professional world, it's going to seep into that as well. It's going to drain the energy. So the personal and professional world, they're intertwined. They're not compartmentalized and separate. So you need to be able to have emotional regulation and emotional self-awareness. What is it that you're feeling? Because it's going to affect you. And like I said, once you know what the feelings are, you need to be able to release it and self-regulate, because otherwise you just get trapped up in your emotions and then you're going to sabotage yourself and your business. The fourth thing I would say is spiritual health. And these are things such as your relationship to yourself, your relationship to others, to the world, to society, to nature. What are the things that light you up? What are you passionate about? What are you meant here to do, to share your gifts? That's spiritual health, because if you're doing stuff that you hate, that you're not fulfilled, you're going to be like me back in New York, and you'll be chasing the empty stuff, going around in circles, and you're going to wake up 50 and be like, what the fuck did I do with my life? So having a spiritual practice and check up on yourself, making sure that you're growing and that you're actually happy and you're present is really, really important. I didn't have any of that when I was back in New York, and like I said, that put me in the hospital. So I just want to talk about the different things that we can do for a morning ritual, because with the morning ritual, you want to be able to hit the 4 different parts of your health in the morning right away. That way, it's like the 80-20 rule. You do one thing and you take care of the rest for the rest of the day. So a morning ritual is a real quick way to 80-20 your 4 pillars of health. So my morning ritual, we'll jump into it. So I start at 6:37 a.m. That might sound like a shock. I had the biggest resistance to doing this. I didn't consider myself a morning person. I like to be lazy and wake up around 9 or 10. And then my coach, he gave me a swift kick in the ass, and he was like, you got to start doing 6:37. I was like, fuck. I was like, okay. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So for the last month and a half, I've been waking up at that time. And to be honest, it's helped me so much more. Like I said, with the allotment of time, your concept of time is expanded because you get the full 24 hours of the day, as opposed to, say, you start your day at 11 or 12, where you only get 12 hours a day. So that's helped me a lot. So first thing I like to do is pound water. drink as much water. I like to have one of those big aqua bottles next to my bed in the bathroom, and the reason why you want to hydrate is because we just slept for 7 to 8 hours, and your body has not been bringing in nutrients or water, so it's dehydrated. So you need to start flushing out toxins as well, because when you go to the bathroom and pee, you're flushing out toxins. Toxins you do not want staying in your body. They can cause diseases, they can cause cancer, and also water is needed for our muscles and our organs, all the biological processes that need us to be happy and healthy. So water is essential. So pound as much water as you can, at least I would say two glasses. I then jump into a shower. Nothing wakes me up more than shower my face. I haven't worked up to the cold shower yet. Some proponents are really big into that. I do like a contrast shower, so I do 1 minute of warm shower to kind of ease into it, which is more enjoyable. And then I like to do a 1 minute cold shower. So by the time I'm done with the cold shower, like I said, I'm more awake. So that's a real easy way to get up. The third thing is I like to put motivational music. I'm a sucker for those YouTube videos, ones with like music soundtracks by Hans Zimmer, and then if you have like a talk with like Tony Robbins or like Les Brown or Bishop Earl or some famous athlete, when you put that over music that's really emotional, it can really change your emotional state like that. So for me, I actually have a whole playlist of YouTube videos, and that really is, as I'm brushing my teeth, that's a really good way to kind of ease into the morning. And then lastly, brush my teeth, get that stank breath out. So the next thing is the light movement and breath work. So it's really important to start moving your body when you wake up. Like I said, we've been sleeping for 8 hours. There's no circulation. I myself have tight shoulders. My back is tight from the bed. Sometimes it's not comfortable. My lower back is really tight. Also hip flexors, especially for us as nomads. We're sitting in chairs all day. They say sitting is the new smoking. So I try to stand up, but you really want to stress these muscles because we're gonna be sitting all day. So you don't want to be cramped up. So I like to do yoga stretches for 10 to 15 minutes. I have a balcony, which is really beautiful to do. I would highly suggest if you have like a quiet space overlooking the horizon, overlooking the sun, that's a really cool place to do it. Next I move into doing Elliott Hulse shake. Does anyone know Elliott Hulse? Yeah, you guys back there, only the guys. All right. He's a big YouTube star. He's a jacked guy from America. Anyways, he's big into bioenergetics and releasing stress. So you guys are gonna do this for me actually. We're all gonna do it together. So everyone stand up. And his thing is, we carry a lot of tension in our face. So you wanna do face stretches. So stick out your tongue, and do, and get those eyes. Yeah, like you see the Balinese dancers, and just do that. And then it's almost like ecstatic dance, like just move your body around and feel where the stiffness in your neck and then your shoulders. And then you want to start opening up the vocalization of your chest. So start going, this is bioenergetics. So it's a really good way to stand up, because I'm going to have to do some other things. It's a really good way to get all the stress and tension and get energy. Google his video for the release. This is a screen snapshot, and you'll see how intense he gets into it. He does for like 7 minutes, and I do it for 1 to 2 minutes. I try to make sure that I don't have neighbors because I'll wake them up. But I really recommend that for doing at least 1 minute, that stretching. The second thing I then jump into is this thing right here. It's a breathing exercise for strong lungs and chest. So the reason why is because I have asthma, and a lot of us here, we even if you don't have asthma, we sleep in air conditioners. And air conditioners, they have dirty filters, the air is not pure. So when you wake up, I always find that I have tightness in my chest and I can't breathe in a lot. And breathing is really super important for us because it gives oxygen to our heads so we can be mentally sharp. All the functions in our body, we need oxygen. So this I looked up from the Art of Manliness. They recommend this, you'll see the diagram right here. So it's really easy. So you just go up. So you guys are gonna do this with me. So go up, tilt your head back a bit. You're gonna breathe in. And then as you're gonna go down like this, and you're gonna try and get your armpits to your knees. And you're gonna try and stretch a bit and touch the floor. I know it's kind of hard back there, but you can just watch the thing. So do this, you wanna do this for like 1 or 2 minutes, breathing and just getting it all out. And it really helps a lot, and you'll feel a lot better by the time you're done. And that purifies your chest and your lungs. Now, the last exercise I'm gonna have you guys do, I learned this from a Tantra teacher out here. And she says it's for, she taught it for guys, so I'm gonna give you from a guy's perspective, but women can do it too. So for guys, they say a lot of sexual energy comes from the lingam, from your balls, as Elliot Hill said, breathe into your balls. So the way you want to do it is you get down low, as if you're doing the haka right here, and then you're gonna lift up on the balls of your feet, on your calves. So you're going down here like that, breathe in, and then you're gonna vocalize that sound, and that sound is really important. So you're gonna do this for 1 or 2 minutes. So you go
breathing through the balls.
exactly. So do that for like 2 minutes. She recommends 20 reps, and by the end I would recommend yelling and roaring as well, and that will definitely have you more awake. And I've been doing that for last month, so you guys can sit down now, but I highly recommend that. So the breath work and the stretching, it's taking care of the muscles, the tightness, and then breathing, like I said, it's huge. Like, I'm sure a lot of people out here have gone to breathwork classes, and you know the difference that breathing can have an effect on your body and your mind. So highly recommend doing this in the morning.
What do you think women should do instead of breathing in the balls?
That's a good question. I think women can do it also, to be honest, because I mean, you guys have sexual organ as well.
We do.
That's a really good question. I don't know the question. I think a tantra
good.
teacher will have to find out.
It'd be interesting to see if there's ways like instigating the feminine and masculine at the same time in the morning for both of us.
Yeah, definitely.
Very masculine.
It is. So for the guys, try it. Women, feel free to try it. Just let me know what you feel. So the next part of the morning ritual is the mindset work. And this has to do with, like I said, our heads and our minds, their thoughts. We really want to cultivate a positive mindset, one that's going to set us up for success and productivity. We don't want to be in like a negative, lethargic, or in a Debbie Downer state of mind. That's just going to affect everything, the energy. So I like to just start out with meditation, real simple. I use Insight Timer. That has just a timing app. It also has meditation. Is Nora in here? Nora's not in here. She actually helped me with this Power Thoughts affirmation guided meditation. I've been using that within the Insight Timer. So real simple, 10 to 20 minutes, just sitting down. Other recommended ones are Headspace and also binaural beats. Does anyone here use binaural beats? Yeah, cool. I've been using them as well for the last year. I'm a big fan of them. And the reason why I like binaural beats is because they're super simple to use. You don't have to you just put the tones in and you just listen to it. And I'll give you a brief overview of how it works. It can be very nerdy and geeky, but basically you put the sound on and they're very similar sounds, and one sound gets played to the right ear and one sound gets played to left ear, say to different megahertz. Say like this is a 2.5 megahertz, and this is a 2.6. So even though they're both 2, there's an incremental difference of 0.1 megahertz. And what happens is your brain perceives that difference, and as it's trying to equalize the sounds, it puts it to a different state. So you have binaural beats, ones that can put you into a deep focus, such as like if I'm trying to work on a project and I also want to be zoned in. You can have one for deep concentration, one for chakra balancing, one for helping you to go to sleep. And like I said, you're supposed to use headphones. You can also try with earbuds, but binaural beats are super easy to use. So that's another good thing to do for meditation. You kind of pre-program your subconscious. And it's also an easy way to kind of change your state. The second thing I like to do is affirmations or incantations. These are things such as changing your self-limiting beliefs. So what you believe is going to really impact what you're able to accomplish. If you believe that you can't ever build a successful business, you're setting yourself up for sabotage and for not setting up a successful business. So you want to change these beliefs. And we don't have time to really delve into that, but I would recommend something like Tony Robbins. He has Awaken the Giant Within, where he talks about beliefs. The analogy he uses is a table, and then within the table you have 4 legs, and you want to put different beliefs under that table to support it. So that's a good way to, if you want to delve on yourself, check it out. My coaches help me with changing self-beliefs, and even in the crew, we do an exercise called Truth Island, which helps you change the beliefs. The next thing I like to do is saying some mantras for yourself, like simple ways that you want to, gentle ways that you want to live your life. So, I save different Facebook memes depending on like what kind of mood I'm in or what kind of situation I'm dealing with personally. Like my own friend had "Don't believe everything you think," because I remember one time I was really getting wrapped up in my head. Mind, Body, Green, they actually have affirmations. This one I used for a little bit. 7 non-new agey affirmations to balance your chakras. So the first one is I let go and I trust the process of life. The third eye is I am wise. I am fully expressive. I am a radiant being of light and love. I accept myself completely. I'm balanced. I know when to act, I know when to wait, and I am disciplined. So these are different mantras that you can kind of remind yourself of how you want to live your life every day. It's kind of good to kind of get those reminders in the morning. So I set whatever, I have a whole Evernote worth of memes that I've saved, so it's good to have that. And then the fourth thing is visualization and NLP. My coaches helped me with that, with NLP work. I can't really teach that here, but that's kind of also priming you for success. And when you're able to visualize you doing certain things, there's a higher chance that you'll actually be successful in accomplishing them. So that's a pretty important part as well of this mindset aspect of the morning ritual. The physical workout. This part is simple. I'm not gonna get, so just to let you know, I had big resistance to this as well. I used to want to keep my workouts till the end of the day. My theory was that whatever energy I have left over after working, I want to use for a workout. Plus, working out for me is a good way to unwind and just decompress. But my coach was like, no, you need to start doing it in the morning. And his logic was that when you work out in the morning, after you work out, you kick off certain physiological and biological processes, such as the release of testosterone and endorphins, which make you feel good. So without that physical exercise to get your body into gear, you won't have those same effects. So he's been really adamant about doing that, so I decided to start trying that, and I actually like it a lot. It's helped me be more awake, more alert, more confident, and more present. So this is a really easy workout that you guys can do here. It does not require any equipment or going to the gym. This is almost like the hotel workout. So for me, I just start out with 5 or 10 minutes doing a light jog. I live in the rice fields. I'd highly recommend you go someplace quiet. Don't jog on like JLRI Uwood with the buses blaring us out. It's not a good way. We all live in rice fields. Just explore and go for a jog in the rice field. If you want, you can kick it up a notch with sprints. Sprints are a good way to kick your metabolism into a higher gear, to burn more fat, and to start getting your resting body rhythm higher. Afterwards, I like to do 5 to 10 minutes of shadow boxing. Like I said, I did Muay Thai, so doing shadow boxing for me is a good way to also exercise my mind and my body. There's Bali MMA down in Canggu. If you're interested in BJJ or Muay Thai or any martial arts, I would highly recommend it, so go down there. And if you don't want to do that, you can check out some YouTube videos and just learn some different basic boxing combinations. That's really fun, to be honest. Then the last part is a short, high-intensity workout. This is 5 to 10 minutes. So for me, I just start out with 25 to 50 jumping jacks, real simple, and then go into 25 or 50 push-ups. After that, I like to mix it up with Russian twists. Russian twists are, they're basically, you go side to side, you're sitting down and you're having your legs kicked up, and that's really good for your core and your obliques. So I like to do like maybe 50, and then I jump into burpees. Burpees are real easy. This is what a burpee is. You just go like that, touch the ground, and I do 10 on each side. And then I do lunges. Lunges you can do like this. It's just putting your leg forward, and I like to do 10 on each side. And then I finish up with Russian twists. So between each one of these, I try to do Russian twists. So by the end, you end up with 100 to 200 Russian twists. So what I like to do is set my timer on my phone and just set it for like 5 minutes and trying to beat the clock. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes depending on how intense and how long I do it for. But the thing is, that's it. So that takes like 20 to 30 minutes right there for your morning workout. It doesn't require, because I like to do yoga as well. I like to do free weights, and I like to do Muay Thai. So I don't have the dedicated time, like an hour and a half to go to yoga class in the morning. So what I do is I keep it short. When I do want to go to yoga, I go to the evening sessions over here at Yoga Barn or Intuitive Flow. So this is, like I said, just to kind of kickstart the biological processes and release endorphins and the hormones. So this is what I recommend. You can do this anywhere. It doesn't take any equipment. And believe me, you are definitely sweating by the time you're done. All right, so we're almost done with this. The next part is juicing. So just to let you know, I do not eat anything when I wake up in the morning. I try to do a thing called intermittent fasting. Have you guys heard of intermittent fasting before? Does anyone do intermittent fasting? Evan, you guys are cool. So intermittent fasting is you try to not eat. So you go to bed and you have your last meal. For me, I have my last meal around 8 or 9. And then the thing is you don't want to eat till the next day for about 12 to 14 hours. So that would mean I'm not eating my breakfast till 9, 10, maybe later. So in the morning, I do not eat anything at all. I work on an empty stomach. And the reason for that is, besides helping you lose weight, it also helps the body detoxify all the crap that's in there. And also it can help put you into, I think it's called a ketogenesis mode, where you burn fat more easily. So by the time I have breakfast, it's towards the end of my workout. So the first thing I want to talk about is, I brought a show and tell. This is my juicer. This is called a slow juicer. I actually bought this down in Canggu. It was, you can buy them, I'd recommend buying them off the Facebook group, off of New. Like this was like 2 million, usually it's like 4 million. And before that I had a centrifugal juicer, which is that one right up there. So I'll just explain the differences. A centrifugal, I can't even say it. That's the faster type juicer right there. They're the more cheaper ones. Whenever you go to like Alchemy or like these restaurants here, and then they make the juice and you hear that really high speed sound, that's a fast juicer. With the slow juicer, it's a lot more quieter. And the difference between the two is this one is much cheaper. Also, it does not, in terms of the breaking down the nutrients, it doesn't preserve the amount of nutrients that you would get from a slow juicer with an auger. So this is an auger. So the way this works is it grinds up the vegetables, and by doing so at a slower pace, it's not heating up the nutrients. Therefore, the nutrients aren't wasted, and it's able to extract more of the juice as well. So that's the difference between the two. I would say, you know, if you can't afford that one or you can't get a hold of that one, get a cheaper one. I would say, like I said, go on the Facebook community groups. You can find really cheap juices there. The thing with like getting a juice at like say one of these restaurants is sometimes they only put like 2 vegetables, 3 vegetables. They're not giving you a lot of vegetables, and sometimes they might only be giving you fruit juices, which is fine. But if you're only doing fruit, you're gonna have a lot of sugars, and you're not having the nutrient dense that you would have from green vegetables. And I'll show you what I juice with. So with juicing, I use about 10 to 15 different things, and I only use one fruit. I'd recommend just either coconut or sursac juice. Like I said, you want to be careful of how much sugar and carbohydrates you take in. So for greens, greens are really what you want to make the base of your juice with. If I would start out with this is kale. This is not a lot. Usually I have a lot more. Kale, celery, carrot, cucumber, bok choy, also spinach, which I don't have. I recommend tomato, a lime, a lemon, turmeric. This is ginger. Onion. I know it sounds crazy, but onion put in there. And then you mix that up, and then, like I said, that's going to give you all the nutrients that you need for your breakfast, because it's all healthy. And to be honest, like I usually have, it's a lot bigger amount that I have here. And the thing is with juicing, when you juice it, you're able to drink a lot more. If you were to try to eat all these things, it's going to take you all day to eat these different vegetables. So you're 80-20ing your nutrition when you're able to juice. So besides those things, I also add a couple other things as well. This is maca powder. This is a root grown in South America. They sell it here at Alchemy. I would highly recommend that. That's it's known to be an aphrodisiac, so just be careful with it. Sometimes it turns me out too much. I have to like take a week off and cycle off of it. So but it's good for vitality, environment, and energy. So it boosts your immune system. So they sell this at Alchemy. I bought this from New York actually. Spirulina, that's another good thing. It has protein in there as well. It's good for your immune system, just a little bit. Spirulina is algae, and that's immune booster. This is oil of oregano. It has antibacterial functions as well, and it's an immune booster. Oil of oregano, if you put it in your mouth, it's going to burn like hell. So you have to be careful with this. You have to put a couple drops in a glass and then make sure you dilute it and just take a shot of that. But oil of oregano, I bought this when I first went to Thailand, and I swear by this by keeping me always healthy. I really get food poisoning, and I take 4 drops in the morning. And you can get this on Amazon for like $10, $15. Kombucha, this is the other thing. This is not wine. This is from Clear Cafe. They put it into this bottle. Kombucha is really good for you because it helps with gut digestion. They say the gut is almost the second brain. That's where a lot of, like over 90% of your endorphins get released. And it's also, they said, I'm sorry, not your second brain, your second heart, because like they say, listen to your gut. It's really important to get your gut digestion in check, because if not, you're also not going to be able to absorb the nutrients and break things down. So I recommend Clear Cafe. This is 50,000 IDR for 750 milliliters. That's a really good deal. What else? Oh, apple cider vinegar. So that's the other thing as well. Apple cider vinegar, it's good for alkaline, not acidic, but an alkaline environment for your body. So I take 2 teaspoons. It has all sorts of different benefits for it. So that's good to mix in as well. The last thing I do is, this is garlic. So I don't juice with the garlic, but I take one whole clove and I chop it up, and then I put it into a shot and just take it. And that is really good for, like I said, antibacterial. It's good for your immune system. Just make sure you brush your teeth afterwards so you don't offend nobody. But it doesn't taste as bad as you think. And then the last thing is fish oil. I take other supplements, but this is the one that's probably most important. Fish oil is really good for your skin, for your brain functions, so I'd recommend that. For breakfast, so people always ask me, what do you eat for breakfast? I keep it simple. With eggs, so I do scrambled eggs. I cook 2 to 4 eggs, and then when you're cooking it at home, one really important thing is that you're not using the cheap, shitty margarine or palm oils. It's bad for your arteries. It's not healthy. I recommend alternatives such as coconut oil, extra virgin coconut oil, or you can use grass-fed butter by Anchor. You can actually buy that at Coco Mart. It's like a couple dollars, but you can get a stick of salted or unsalted grass-fed butter, and I'd recommend that because that's to coat the pan with. That's a lot healthier as opposed to using margarine. And then I also have avocado, and I have sweet potatoes. Cook that in a skillet. And if you want to use salt, which is fine, I recommend using pink Himalayan salt. Do not use regular table salt because they extract all the essential minerals that you need. So pink Himalayan salt, that's a good alternative. It's healthy for you. So use that on your eggs, avocado, and your sweet potatoes. So that right there takes care of your macronutrients. When I say macronutrients, I mean protein with the eggs, healthy fats with the avocado, and then also with the grass-fed butter, and then your carbohydrates with the sweet potatoes. One thing is I don't cook sweet potatoes as much anymore just because it's time consuming. What I've been doing instead is I've been cooking with muesli or eating muesli and granola with fruit, and man, that is like it's a candy snack for me. I love that. That's actually what gets me out of bed for my morning ritual. It tastes so good. So for that, I would highly recommend cutting out dairy, milk. There's just so many reasons, but for me, it has inflammation, it causes mucus, plus there's like moral and ethical reasons, and you know, the milk, they put hormones and all this other stuff that's not healthy for us. So I recommend using coconut oil or soy milk or rice milk. Those are all fine for your muesli. That tastes really good. If you want to go ghetto, which I have done in the past, I use water, which actually doesn't taste as bad. And so that muesli is your carbohydrates as well. Almost done here. So the last part is journaling that I like to do. So with journaling is I like to do gratitude journaling. In the crew, we have this practice as well. So we write down 3 things that you're grateful for, and then 1 thing that you're grateful for about yourself. With gratitude, it's a real easy way to change your state, your perspective, because it's easy for us to say, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, and then just go down like in a negative spiral. But when you have gratitude, you actually put yourself more present, and you can find things that are actually, like, you realize, like, whoa, my life is actually not too pretty bad. And then it's also cool to look back at your journal. Like if you're going through a really hard time, what I do is I bust out my journal and I look at my whole month of gratitude journal, and I realize, like, wow, my life is fucking awesome. Like, why am I feeling shitty? So it's a really easy way to change your shift around is with gratitude journaling. And then the other thing I like to do is task and goal planning. And with this, you just want to write down 3 things that you want to focus on for today, for the 3 different business tasks. And usually those things are things that are either generating you leads or helping you make sales. So all the other things, they can kind of fall to the side. So whatever things generate money, sales, client outreach, generating leads, you know, those are the things you want to focus on. And then the reason why 3 things, if you try to do any more than 3, typically for me, I find like half the shit doesn't even get done anyways, and the things aren't really that important. So try to keep it simple to just 3, and that's a good way to get productive and start in the morning. So other things that are suggestions. So that right there, I'll just tell you, that's like a 2-hour, 3-hour morning ritual. You can compress it down to like an hour. I would say the breakfast part, you know, because I'm juicing, that juicing itself could take anywhere from like 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and then cooking breakfast. So that's like an hour right there. So besides the breakfast and the eating, the morning ritual is like an hour, hour and a half itself. So that is what I do. These are other things that I've done or I've picked up from other people. Smudging is another good way to start out. This is Palo Santo. This is holy wood from Ecuador when I went to South America. Smudging is a good way to cleanse a room with the different energies, also to help center yourself. Smudging is also known to kill like the mold and bacteria in the room. We live out here in Bali and there's all sorts of crap floating around the air. So smudging with either sage or Palo Santo, I would recommend. Also, you can listen to a podcast in the morning to kind of help ease your way in. That's a good way. There's so many podcasts out there. Also, you can try reading a book. You know, I have a favorite book that I like to read as well sometimes. My one client, he actually likes to he plays a guitar. So that's actually his spiritual practice for the morning ritual. So playing an instrument, that gets you into a flow state. You're very present and you're focused. So that's another good alternative. Also, the same client, he's moving to China later this year, so he also commits to like 15 minutes of learning Chinese. Out here, if you want to learn Bahasa, that's another good thing to work into your morning ritual. Or if you move to Thailand, learn how to speak Thai. Free flow journaling, that's another good thing to do as well. You know, if you wake up in the morning and your brain is just all over the place and you have a million thoughts, it's a good practice to write maybe 3 pages of just whatever the hell comes out of your brain, or do like 5 minutes of free flow journaling. That's because once you get out of your head, you can free your mind up for other things that are more important. Another thing you could do is study topics that interest you. I have another client, he just got into Bitcoins, and Bitcoins is just like a whole nother atmosphere of information, so he's committed to 20 minutes every day of learning about the different stuff. So, you know, study what interests you, what are you passionate about, fit that into your morning ritual. Another thing to do is watch a YouTube video or a TED Talk. TED Talks are really great for inspiration, but also they're good for like different lessons, so you can learn stuff from YouTube or a TED Talk. And the last thing I would suggest is maybe you want to shoot a video blog. That's actually how I started my YouTube channel 3 years ago. I was like, I don't have time for shooting YouTube, so I forced myself to do a video blog every morning. And that's what actually kicked off my YouTube channel, so because I was very consistent every day. So that's another thing too, if you want to start a Facebook live stream every day and just share how your day is, that's a good way to gain traction and attention. I actually started doing that myself. One thing I also want to mention is an evening ritual. This is just as important as a morning ritual. I've actually started just doing this the last couple of weeks. I've always been using this application called Flux. So Flux, what that does is that dims your blue light, the blue light on your computer. What happens is with the sun, that affects our melatonin production, which is the hormone that we need to fall asleep. So whenever there's light outside, our body's not producing melatonin. But when there's no light, that's when the body says, okay, it starts shutting down your body and telling you to go to sleep. So because with modern technology, we have smartphones and computers all the time, that light is going to interfere with our circadian rhythm and it's going to throw us off balance. So I'd recommend installing an application called Flux. It's for free. Put it onto your laptop. Also, if you have trouble falling asleep, try apple cider vinegar and honey. A friend actually told me about that, and he got that from Tim Ferriss in the book Tools of the Titans. That has actually helped me in the past week or two of falling asleep instead of using like heavy duty sleep aids, which are not good. Try that. And then also you can try reading a book, and try not to use any electronics for the last hour. Like I said, you don't want to keep your brain turned on. And another thing that's helped me is setting an alarm. So if I want to go to bed at 10, I will set an alarm at 9 p.m. to tell me, hey, you got 1 hour to do whatever stuff you need to do. Let's wrap it up. That way I don't get sucked into like a Wikipedia hole or Facebook or something like that. That's a good way to just stay on track. So because I think for me, it's the hardest thing about waking up in the mornings is because if I went to sleep late the last night, it's hard for me to wake up. So an evening ritual can kind of help you stay on track and help you get to bed earlier. So this is your homework. We're gonna spend 2 minutes and create your own morning ritual. So start thinking about what you want to do for your morning ritual, and you want to keep it simple in the beginning. You don't want to overcomplicate it. You don't want to like pick something too complex and then be discouraged. So I recommend picking 3 to 5 activities right now, and then that you can do and stack on top of each other. And then print that list out and have it handy. Print it out and post it like in your kitchen, in your bedroom, in the bathroom, so that way as you're going through the ritual for the first 30 days, you know exactly where you're at, because until you start building a habit, it won't come to you. And then the last thing is commit to 30 days. That's all I want you to do, or that's all I ask of you, at least 30 days, because that you'll then start to notice progress. I would recommend doing it for 90 days. And if you're up to it, I would have you write out your morning ritual and then post it on Facebook and say, hey, this is what I declare. That way you're held accountable and you're more motivated to do it. And it's also a good way to see if you want to do a partner, like a morning ritual partner, to keep you accountable, just like you have a workout buddy. So let's take like 1 minute and just, I want you guys to kind of brainstorm what you guys would do for your morning ritual. So I want you guys to have something to walk away with. So, and then we're going to share a couple of these. So you want you want activities that'll take care of your physical, your mental, your emotional, and spiritual health. All right, you got 30 seconds.
Why are you going so fast?
I want people to share. Do you still need more time?
Kind of.
Okay, sorry. All right.
Jesus just crashed. Definitely need more time.
Okay, who wants to share? Who wants to share their morning ritual? I'd love to hear it. Evan, let's hear it, brother.
Yeah, so my morning ritual is like super weak if I go stay up like really late in the last night. Not really like a partier, but I'll stay up like reading or learning stuff. So I try to get to bed like around 10 or 11, and then I wake up and before the next day, like the evening, like you said, like cut the electronics off, and I also use plugs for the yellow, so it helps to sleep. But I try to plan out the day and the nighttime, like in the evening for the next day. And on Sunday night, I'll definitely get Monday, like worst case scenario. And best case scenario, I'll try to get like the whole week cast for that Sunday night. Because then, you know, you can put off things that you didn't get to your list if you have to do it. And then, yeah, like the same with you, bro. Like I don't get 20 things done a day, like it just doesn't work. So I'll try to do 3 for every single day. And then, like I said, if I get like 2 done, I'll slide the next one to the next day, and then still be able to handle it with like a little bit more motivation to like get it all done. So, yeah, and then I wake up a little bit intermittent fasting, but if I do eat anything, it's just going to be protein and fat, so I can get back into ketogenesis just for burning protein and fat, burning ketones in my brain, staying super focused and light, so I can like write in the morning, whatever. And then, yeah, I'm trying to meditate every day. It's like super hard, but if I just sit down for like 5 seconds, I know I can meditate for 1 minute and meditate for like 5 minutes, and then I'll get off the floor. So yeah, that's about it.
Very, very thorough.
A little bit of reading.
That's cool. And how long you been doing that for?
Oh, like at least a year.
Yeah, cool. Thank you for sharing. That's very thorough. So anyone else would like to share theirs, what they came up with? Colleen.
Sure, I'll share mine. So get up, drink 2 glasses of water, meditate for 10 minutes, journal for 20 minutes, have my accountability buddy call, do 5 sun salutations, shower, and eat breakfast.
I like it. Sounds good. Thank you for sharing.
Sure thing. No, let's actually do it.
So who wants to commit to 30 days and post on Facebook? No takers. Man, it's easy. Good stuff. Colleen's looking for an accountability partner, so hit her up. She's awesome. All right, just want to wrap up. If you want, I have a PDF and an ebook and checklist with all the recipes and all the stuff I talked about. You can just go to my website, Christopher W. Chu, CHIU. There's no autoresponder. I'm not going to spam you. I don't have that set up yet, so you're off the hook for that. Anyone wants to write that for me, let me know. You can add me on Facebook as well. I like to connect with people after here. And just let you know, I'm running, like I said, I'm running the crew expansion July 10th to August 3rd. If you're interested in getting your business scaling up, or if you're kind of stuck and you don't know where you want to go, let me know. The crew has been really great for that. It's getting more powerful results. Also, I'm doing men's one-on-one coaching, either Skype, in person, or retreats. And I'll also be going to South America in 2018 for the 4th time. I'll probably be there for 3 to 4 months. And I'll be leading men's only plant medicine retreats with, like I said, with the different shamans and ayahuasca, San Pedro combo. So if you feel called to work with that, please let me know. I'd love to get you in. We're also gonna be doing things like the Salkantay Trek, the Inca Trail, also different masculine initiation rituals based on the hero's journey, king, warrior, magician, lover, and also other different teaching as well. And then I'll be in Thailand September of this year to November for a couple months. With my one client, he's moving to Phuket, so I'm going to go there and help him out. So if anyone's going to be in Phuket, let me know. I'd love to link up, and then also might go back to Chiang Mai as well. So let me know if you're going to be around. I always enjoy meeting different people. So that is it for me, and I'll open up for a Q&A.